here's Chris Ramirez.
Sponsored by CC Roofing and Construction Company.
Good evening and thanks for watching KSAN News. Definitely had an active morning as we looked at our severe weather. We're currently sitting at 64 degrees here in San Angelo and across the Concho Valley. Junction sitting at 70, Sonora 68, Brady 72, and Azona 66. Over the next 12 hours, expect a lot more quieter conditions with temps getting down into the 60s with mostly clear skies, with temps getting into the 70s with partly cloudy skies for tomorrow as we spend our Sunday. I'll have more in your full weather forecast for KSAN News at 10. Starts now.
Coming up on KSAN News, parts of West Texas got hit by tornadoes earlier this morning. Then residents in our community are seeking emergency shelters. And we'll show you some of the businesses that got destroyed by the severe storm.
Now from San Angelo's News Channel, this is your KSAN News at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Elisha. Early this morning, many parts of the nation got hit by severe weather, some facing more devastation than others. Over in Ballinger, a tornado left parts of the town in ruins. Our Victor Glenn has more.
System blasted through the Concho Valley with multiple tornadoes touching down. One such tornado hit Ballinger.
It filtered right back up, and then there's a quick downdraft, and when it hit on the northeast side of the town, you can see how it just pretty much annihilated some of the houses.
It damaged a water tower next to the local high school as well as tearing through residential homes. Local couple and business owners, the Wilsons, barely made it to safety in time.
On the front porch, drinking some coffee, watching it rain, and then the siren went off, so we kind of worked our way in the house. And then it started, you could tell it was starting to get bad, and see the lawn furniture getting blown across the yard. So we had our little dogs in the laundry room. I went and grabbed them. She was behind me.
Though their store in town only suffered minor water damage, their home was virtually demolished. Yet in speaking to them, they say they feel incredibly lucky, and it isn't hard to see why.
It blew out the bay window, which used to be over there, and then it shoved me into the kitchen. And I saw the roof lift and go and grabbed on to the oven door, and you know, within 30 seconds or whatever it was done, and that's where I was.
Even with the destruction and flooding, no major injuries or deaths were reported. The community is already cleaning up and beginning to make repairs.
The churches have come out. The businesses themselves have all rolled up their sleeves to help out with the efforts. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but to the left of me, they're repairing the roofs right now. So they have not stopped since this has all started.
And so the recovery from the storms begins. Victor Glenn, KSAN News.
It has been confirmed that an EF2 tornado touched down in San Angelo, and a local disaster has been declared by the county judge. Several areas around town received severe damage. Flooding caused many to be stranded on the side of the roads. The north side of San Angelo received the most devastation. Trees and power lines fell on and around homes, and roofs were torn off. In addition, there have been many city limits put in place to access the area north of 22nd Street between Poe and Main Street between 8 in the morning and 8 in the evening.
We got a lot of water. It took part of the roof off, and there's damage in the backyard. But the main thing is that big tree out there fell over on the house, and that's where a lot of the damage probably is coming from. It's just nice to have so many caring people.
Residents of homes deemed uninhabitable are being forced to leave.
I just want to say I'm sorry for what you've been through, but I thank God so far as we know, we have no injuries, and that's a miracle.
This morning, a temporary shelter was set up at Bradford Elementary School. However, now displaced residents have been moved to the First United Methodist Church on Beauregard and Oaks. Officer Piet Fox stressed the importance of staying off the roads near the damaged area so that emergency crews and first responders can quickly get to their destination. It's also very important to reserve calls to 911 for emergencies only.
We do have our Red Cross partners that will be at that secondary location. They will be providing immediate needs to the displaced families, whether it be food, clothing. We will be addressing their pets and medical needs at that secondary location.
There will be active patrol in place to watch after the homes of the residents seeking shelter to make sure that their homes are not being preyed upon. Several businesses around town also received a big hit by the storm. parts of the West Texas Boys Ranch, which is home to 40 boys, was left in ruins. One of the boys experienced the tornado crashing through his room. Luckily, he was unharmed. A Long gas station on West Avenue North saw significant damage to its rooftop. The heavy winds twisted and turned the canopy at 5:30 in the morning. And right across the street is La Esperanza Restaurant No. 2, which had the front side of its roof torn off. The interior of the restaurant suffered from leaks and flooding. Also, the Fairmont Cemetery had many trees falling on top of tombstones, some trees even breaking in half.
We know we have a long road ahead of us to get all of our facilities back up, to be able to maintain that service that we want with the boys, but we're very optimistic. We're excited to get it all put back together the way that we expect it to be, and we'll continue to raise boys and build men just like we have for the last 70+ years.
We're glad that they are hopeful during these trying times. Coming up on KSAN News, Angelo State Baseball look to keep their season alive against Rogers State today. Rachel will have more later on in sports. Also, let's head over to Chris Ramirez in the Storm Team Weather Center for a check of the weather. Chris?
Yes, Emily, we can expect quieter conditions for the next 24 hours, but there is a chance that we may see some more severe storms as we head into the start of the next work week. But our allergens, brought to you by our friends from the Shannon Clinic. Yesterday we were sitting at a 6.3, today at a 6.4, and tomorrow at a 6.5 in the medium category. I'll have your full weather forecast when we come back.
You're watching KSAN Weekend News with Emily Elisha, meteorologist Chris Ramirez, and Rachel Turnock with sports.
Now with your Storm Team weather, here's Chris Ramirez.
Sponsored by CC Roofing and Construction Company.
So, Chris, we had lots of severe weather happening. What can you tell us about the future of our forecast?
So we can expect actually more severe weather that's expected for portions of the Concho Valley as we head into the start of the next work week. That's due to our next weather system coming through the area. But we saw some major damage here across San Angelo and across the Concho Valley there. But as you look at our current past 18 hours, we did see those rain definitely make its way through town there as we look at those tornado reports trickle in there as we look towards the last 24 hours. But we did see a lot of tornado indicated reports. There was an EF2 tornado that was confirmed by the National Weather Service that hit the city of San Angelo, but there was also another report of a EF2 tornado hitting the West Texas Boys Ranch, and a building was collapsed at the West Texas Boys Ranch. So they got some devastation from this storm down there too. But of course, the major devastation from these storms were in the city of San Angelo, in the northern parts of San Angelo near Bradford Elementary. Damage was reported to numerous homes on the north side of town, and I don't know if you've seen any of those pictures, but we did see some roofs being torn off of those homes, with many being destroyed, and of course seeing a lot of those houses being uninhabitable. But of course, going over to Runnels County, we were tracking a tornado that was tracking through Runnels County. There was a house that was demolished off of FM 2111 with a possible injury with this particular tornado as it was going through Runnels County there. But we're definitely continuing to see these reports go through. The National Weather Service is continuing to survey the damage, so we could see more reports. They could upgrade it up to an F3 tornado for portions, because we did see substantial damage. But to kind of remind you of this Fujita scale of what tornadoes are ranked, this is an EF0 tornado. This is EF0 tornado is between 65 and 85 miles an hour. And as you look at an EF1, these are usually indicated with 86 to 110 miles an hour. And then an EF2, this is the type of tornado that was actually tracked up here in San Angelo and confirmed here in the Concho Valley for portions in near the West Texas Boys Ranch and the city of San Angelo. This is a EF2 with winds up to about 111 and 135 miles an hour. And then we're going to go up to an EF3 tornado. With EF3 tornadoes, we'd usually see winds up to 136 miles an hour, between 165 miles an hour. So definitely seeing some catastrophic damage due to these storms as they continue to make their way through town. Definitely when those storms cleared, it was very clear. Mostly sunny conditions for today. We can expect another quiet Sunday for the next 24 hours, but we do have our next chance for severe weather as we head into Monday. Temps will be summer-like. We can expect temps to go up to the 90s with possible rain chances as we head into the end of the week there. Right now sitting at 64 degrees, humidity is at 72%, winds moving south-southwest at 7 miles an hour, and definitely feeling some cooler temperatures across West Texas and portions of the Texas Panhandle. 58 in Amarillo, 68 in Midland, 64 in San Angelo, and still sitting in the 80s in southeast Texas. As we go closer to home, most of the area are seeing relatively cool temperatures, a little bit warmer to the north of us. We're in the 70s in the northern portions of the Concho Valley, but we're still seeing those storms continuing to track across East Texas, causing severe thunderstorm warnings and flash flood warnings for portions of East Texas as those storms continue to move into Louisiana and portions of the deep south there. But definitely looking at the national perspective, we were seeing this low pressure system that's currently caused all of this with very unstable air. That cold front that came through has definitely cleared all of those skies for today. But as we look into the next 24 hours, or actually the next week or so, we can expect our next weather system that's currently off near California. That's going to be coming through on Monday, which is going to open up the door for more severe weather to possible thunderstorms for portions of the Concho Valley as we go into the next Monday into Tuesday. We'll be clearing out for the rest of the week, but then mostly clear conditions with possible slight rain chances as we go into the end of the week. The Storm Prediction Center is giving a slight risk for some severe storms to enhance risk for portions of the Concho Valley for Monday. Window storms expected to come through, so we're definitely expecting more severe weather for Monday there as we go into the next 7 days. But looking at your 7-day forecast here, we can expect those temps to ramp up into the 90s with 40% chance of scattered thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday morning. That will clear out just a little bit for Wednesday and Thursday with slight chances of rain for Thursday and Friday. Temps warming up into the 90s. Overnight temps in the 50s and 60s for the next 7 days. We'll be right back.
From San Angelo's News Channel, this is your KSAN Weekend News.
Several neighborhoods around San Angelo experienced power outages due to the storm. AEP Texas has developed some estimated restoration times for 4 of the areas hit. Downtown San Angelo, restoration is estimated on Saturday at 8 in the evening. Santa Rita on Sunday at 6 in the evening. Bradford and Ballinger both on Monday at 6 in the evening. Additional estimated restoration times will be released as they become available. And due to the debris of the storm, some of you might have unwanted trees lying around your home. There are 2 sites available to drop off those limbs. At the Lake Operations Facility at 2301 Fisherman's Road and at the parking lot at Foster Communications at Coliseum 50 East 43rd Street. Here's Mary with Pet of the Week.
Hi, I'm Mary with Concho Valley Paws, and this week's Pet of the Week is Cordelia. Cordelia is a sweet Chihuahua girl that is approximately 11 pounds. Cordelia came into the shelter as a stray a few days ago. At some point in her past, Cordelia lost an eye to an apparent injury, but we don't know how. She's very sweet and attentive, and she wants to please. She loves verbal praise and wags her tail enthusiastically in response. Cordelia is about 2 years old, and since she is missing an eye, we would love to see her go to a home where she could be an inside lapdog. The shelter is full of loving dogs and cats. We need fosters and adopters to help us save lives. Fostering is one of the most rewarding experiences. As a foster, you simply agree to take a pet into your home to love and shelter him. We provide for all the veterinary needs, food needs, toys, bedding, and crate. Fostering is structured so that there are no expenses to the volunteers. You just provide love and a safe place until a permanent home can be located. To make Cordelia a member of your family or to see photos of our other adoptable pets, please visit us online at cvpaws.org or call us at 325-656-PETS.
Now with sports, here's Rachel Turnock.
The Angelo State Rams head in today fighting to keep their season alive. Their rally was cut short last night against Rogers State, which means they're on the brink of elimination. But the good news for ASU, they're 5-1 in the NCAA tournament after they suffered the opening round loss. So with their season on the line, we head out to Foster Field for game 1 of the day. ASU needing to pick up 2 wins against Rogers State to stay alive. Bottom first, Rams trailing 1-0. They'll explode in this inning. Lachlan Mayo puts ASU on the board with a hit out to center. 2 runs will come home, and the Rams lead 2-1, and they continue to just pile it on. Parker Bramlett at the dish now. Shoots this ball back up the middle. Nick Novak will come on in to score. Rams lead 3-1, but they weren't done yet. Very next batter, Jackson Hardy bloops this ball out to center field. Riley Peterson will score. The Rams brought in 4 runs on 6 hits in the first inning. Top third now, Rogers State gets back on board. Zach Mann hits this ball to center. That'll bring in Blake Sharamonte from second. 4-2 ASU in front, and the Rams keep their bats working. They win 13-6 to force a winner-take-all game, which was this evening, and the Rams want that trip to the Super Regional so bad in Grand Junction, Colorado next weekend. Top first, 2-0 ASU. Parker Bramlett adds to it with a single up the middle. Nick Sigenowicz will score to make it 3-0 ASU. Things change. Bottom of the frame now. 2 on for Nick Follett. He crushes this pitch. That is smashed out to right center, goes off the First Community Credit Union side on the scoreboard to make it a 3-run homer. That'll tie the game. Bottom second now, 5-3 Rogers State. Bases juice for Follett. He delivers, hits it deep to left field over the wall. That's a grand slam to give the Hillcats a 9-3 lead, but do not count ASU out. Bottom of the frame, 9-4 Rogers State. Jackson Hardy lays down the perfect bunt down the third baseline. Follett overthrows it to first. Riley Peterson will score to make it a 4-run game. This is turning into a slugfest, and it is still going on. The Rams lead 15-10 in the 8th at last check. The Wallhawks are also rolling this postseason. They're well on their way to the regional semifinals. They won game 1 last night, 19-11 over Alpine, 32-0 now, but they had to fight back to get the dub. But just showed what they're capable of doing, and they're 1 win away from moving on to the next round. Bucks trying to get themselves on board first in this game. Bottom of the first, they go for the suicide squeeze. They can't execute it. Inning over. Now top second, and Wall's about to just change the script of this one. Bases loaded, and Sutton Hurst will grab a pair of RBIs. He hits a single up the middle. That'll make it a 2-0 game, and the Wallhawks would go on to roll, and they win this game 16-4 in 5 innings. They'll take on Breckenridge in the regional semifinals. We're back to wrap things up right after this.
From San Angelo's News Channel, this is your KSAN Weekend News.
Here's a final look at your 7-day forecast. We can expect a quiet day for tomorrow, but our next chance for severe weather will be back into the picture on Monday with scattered storms possible, with some of these being severe lasting until Tuesday morning. Quiet conditions for Wednesday, Thursday, slight chance of more rain for the end of the week, but temps will be warming up, feeling summer-like into the 90s for the next 7 days.
Huge shout out to you and Josh Johns. Exceptional coverage last night covering the storm. You guys did such a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. That's all we have for your KSAN News. Have a good night.